Hello, and thank you for joining us today for additional guidance on the Acceleration Academies grants. This presentation will review the purpose of the grants, grant logistics, funding, and further resources. On November 10th, 2020, the Governor's Office and the Arizona Department of Education announced $19 million to help accelerate the learning in math and English language arts for Arizona students most impacted by the COVID pandemic. The funding supports the Acceleration Academies grants and comes from the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund as part of the CARES Act. School eligibility for the Acceleration Academies was determined using multiple factors, including free and reduced lunch percentages, the percentages of students scoring below proficiency on the AZM2 exam for ELA and math, unemployment claims, COVID cases, lack of access to technology, and lack of access to the internet. Here is the numeric breakdown of the tiered funding structure for the Acceleration Academy grants. Each of the 183 eligible schools will receive base funding of $75,000. The 37 most impacted schools from that list of 183 will receive an additional $100,000 for a total of $175,000. And of the 37 most impacted schools, those with 500 or more students will receive an additional $157,500 for a total of $332,500. The list of schools that are eligible for Acceleration Academies grants can be found at the Acceleration Academies page of the ADE website. As is the case with most grants from ADE, eligible LEAs will apply through the Grants Management Enterprise System. While the initial budget term for Acceleration Academies funding is from January 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2021, obligated funds will remain available for continued obligation through carryover through September 30th, 2022. This allows for a methodical, systematic approach to the use of funds to accelerate learning in math and English language arts. LEAs that apply for the grant must agree to the following assurances. They must provide equitable services to non-public schools in the same manner required under Title I-A. Now, for more information on this, please see the guidance document on the Acceleration Academies webpage. LEAs must also maintain control of all GEAR funds and continue to pay employees and contractors during the period of any disruption due to COVID-19. There are some key disallowable uses of Acceleration Academies grants funding. GEAR funds cannot be used for bonuses or merit pay unless related to disruptions from COVID-19, cannot be used to subsidize or offset executive salaries and benefits who are not employees of the LEA, can't be used for expenditures related to state or local unions, and cannot be used for capital expenditures. To support eligible schools, guidance for the grant will contain examples of evidence-based strategies and specific practices that schools can employ to accelerate student learning. As an example, the provision of targeted professional learning to build teacher capacity in math and literacy is an evidence-based strategy that has proven to positively impact student learning. A school that uses Acceleration Academies funding to provide the professional learning, such as letters training for literacy, will be using funding appropriately within the specifications of the grant. These examples are designed so that eligible schools have a clear picture of approved funding uses, which they can include in their grant applications. The inclusion of these proven practices will help expedite grant approval for eligible schools. The ADE guidance for the Acceleration Academies grants will include both intermediate and longer-term evidence-based strategies, as seen on this slide. Since Acceleration Academies funding may be obligated through September of 2021, the funding can be used for practices such as summer programs that will occur later in or after the current school year. Letters training from Voyager Sopris is nationally recognized as evidence-based professional learning in the science of reading that leads to increased teacher understanding in the best practices for teaching reading and working with struggling readers. All of the eligible schools that are receiving additional funding will procure this training for their teachers, coaches, and administrators. In addition to the evidence-based strategies described in this video and in the guidance document on the Acceleration Academies website, further evidence-based strategies can be found in 3 key resources: the Comprehensive Literacy State Development Program website, What Works Clearinghouse, and Evidence for ESSA. Thank you for watching this brief video on the Acceleration Academies grants. Further information can be found in the Guidance for Acceleration Academies Grants document on the Acceleration Academies webpage found at azed.gov. Thank you and have a great day.